PDC Abass Ashanti Regional Communications Director or Science Social Investment Fund CEO will make explosive revelation. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia oral in the PDS scandal. We are revealing here President Mahama next tactics I will be using oral near friend of public tribunals. There's a very interesting article on Judicial Service website. It has, and as I say, it lists the history of the court system since independence. A very interesting article. It breaks down the public tribunal system. No, then to JJ at this idea and a buy. Abass is among Tomobu Orano, any JJ Bressonia. We are in a democratic era. Now, Oran, a Bayer Juma, then to number Bawumia in PDS scandal. What role did Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia play? In fact, PDS scandal no create then a buy. That is what we are talking about in this episode. Your friend Eugene say to make sure so best subscribe here. There are subscribe here. Click the notification. You know, with the video be at my we have a covering Pomba health consult, addiction related issues, trauma related issues, aged care. We so bishop apano mama or bring Pomba any baby say you man na at the amount. Kama. Now let's go on and talk about oral. Abass SMNDC is Ashanti Regional Communications Director or yourself Social Investment Fund CEO. Now revelations of the Abana Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia oral friend in the PDS scandal. And then the next tactics Attorney General President Mahama Bano ebe yusu the a treaty oral, which was a big promise on the Magana for them or Kai TV.
Abai ekwa okwotia keta hyehyɛ kankan ne proye ne no ntantɛn. Some of the high profile high profile corruption case pa o man sika kodi mu pa ye national service scandal no.
Okay.
Ene gift your worry abuaje. Any euro says be omu gina quarter omo trial e dey e koso den. Ukọ MP Yura Mustafa Hamid asemwa e dey e wo ho no. Eno so e wo court aye dey ye di no den. Oko eye Skytrain eye ya Yura Christopher Mia wa kumfi oni CEO no so mo so gina court eye dey ye o masem den ena ye ka keta asehye kankan ne proya enye se ye chi nipa e de na bodua ma boni tu nko na kire se ye ko keta asehye kankan ne proya so utimi ko jisika no so e de ba eno so ko keta asehye kankan ne proya me ba na wo hwe ye ba aban mu a under this oral no sika aban agye afri woni awi a oman sika hono ye kekabom sesi 600 million Ghana cedis.
Right.
600 million Ghana cedis is about 6 trillion Ghana cedis. Dobri yoko na agye say sika yo it is sika is NDC ambassador say sika nyina akodi botofimu what you say ena there was ena cases are Attorney General eye enhwehwemu ene anamawa otu sene be ya odi asem ne court aye montungu no cases ne nkwa aye 462 cases ena se say e court eye ade a Attorney General eye de eye enhwehwemu kan oforia ta asem a wo kan ni pay mu wode ne ho akamura wadane ne ho obi oye finance minister no so on GP enne wawie na bebu ankonta wadane ho tukotene na onu so obi kodi American so a wontimi mu wura ho nkwache no eye mremu ana ode be de be ko Ghana for na ya na mpempi no hu de ye de ye pe because you are Rollins by no mo ye say hey Junior Jesus let the blood flow Junior Jesus let the blood flow and o chen ko fo bi ofi so my corruption na so ma di o man ne bone and ye de omo ebo eduam na dima ya ye dey ne ku omu and na oba Ashanti region ha de ntia nipa bebre MP NDC sa na na ye dey course no
right
and na ye nyina 1992 ye tena setintin ye say ye mpese soja ban ebedi o man ne so na asemba nipa ye chewa ye nhede ni wa asem ye kura na ye de waboduam nti ye mfa kabima mi kabi nya dey enya adwuma na inherent in the kabima mi kabi no e ya de be a friend due process sa akoko awo ye chew se unsa de sika mu kura no wa wia yentimi fa mo duam nya dey enkum aje say ye de fa through the judicial process nti say ena omampanyini e ka se obi awie ska obeche no omampanyini na ne tumi obetumi ache obi na onwa di na asem no jele no judges na ye de nti ye ka omompanyini asem ne nso no yenka judges a ensem obi abedi omo nso ye de edi asem a eba ubedi na wutu ahya ubetu ahya be ye 3 or 4 days utumi hye 2-3 months enu no omompanyini independence of the judiciary mo omompanyini ho kwan ma na nya dai intimi ko
fasa omompanyini hye bo se oba obenya court we no behwe corruption kwa na
and the chief justice set up that court and attorney general so the bail
don't you think say
attorney general the bail be court a public tribunal no a war constitution no be dey ebebem ye ka public tribunal dia eno de enye judge na ye dey enye
a judge no nko na
take decision assembly procurement issue you for procurement expert omuni so experience no nipa miensa mo te assembly so and no assembly ye share say wuntumi ntu share more than 3 days enti abema assembly ye dey akonani but me dey me feel say ensem dodo no a ye dey akodan court no ye sere court no so mo so enka omo na nsem no omo nya dey omo ndi no abasa hare so na ye hu nsem ne duagubre nipa ne dibone ayemfa ne nkotum wi o man sika yenye de yenye sani hu so ayenya anoma ne nya dey enko
the na susu say NDC MPP de benkum dware na benkum
in the fight against corruption there are 3 stages your investigation your prosecution and your conviction investigation and prosecution and no near there a war on mampanyini nsem
right
but conviction ne there a judiciary ne nsem on mampanyini nya dey any control but so far investigation and prosecution ne there say obi age tum say on mampanyini ya dey na pomu nyina omo ne mo ye o ma set ho ne ne ade nyina still yokoda so ya dey investigate omo a ye pe bibidi yes
na pomu de no
yes ni nyina wo ho say na po wa ko yokono ne ade nyina Dr. Bawumia on say Dr. Bawumia de oye OPDS any Pualugu Dam ni investigation koso enye nwa say ya beda sorry ya bete say Dr. Bawumia so ya bede ya be frɛ no na Ghana fo no ano a omo ye crucify him let the blood flow omo a na be say crucify him ti and someone I can say Drew say the acts of accountability hit strongly and maybe I'm a case a political watch. So government has done so well. Say ene or Mansika or PPP 600 billion yes kaketwa 600 billion and then yes kaketwa yaje under ora ya the cases are investigation over 400 cases are work court high profile cases are hold over 15 in an hour court court ya dey e dia ban ni guso awotu anamo yemfa empire bonta ban na chi e ma yen sha ban se onko ya ade a enimrem se aban susu se obi awie skanti ya chi na na de na bo eduamu na ten e basa na yamfa kabi ma men kabi ene ye due process no aye nyina ye pene yamfa anya dey yamfa anya adwuma but Yewura Mills can be Yewura Mahama Court State of the Nation was that kind or say the wheels of justice grind slowly
and the motor
but it will definitely get to its destination
definitely no ya na breno
what say embremo no you say justice harried is justice buried so we you adwene say we patent ne na we niama abasa hare so a anhwa no akotieti obi fa hodie so and in criminal law in criminal prosecution asudi a edawa wo bi kwa do so no eson meaning the standard of proof no prove beyond reasonable doubt
right
what you say and the principle of what you say yes ye de you be 99 criminals afọ mu ho adi dan say nipa ba ko a wondi bone ye de ne betum nti ansa na court be gia to mu say yemu obi for say wadi dwirimu no na wahwehwe mu hunu say bibia kyeresa ampa nipa no bone oyɛ dai oyɛ yɛ de ne kotum ne hu so oyɛ nipa bone ni basa wo kasa yɛmfa obi nkotum because wo adwirimu no wadi bone na yɛmfa na amfa due process mu a na yɛ use the cohesive machinery of the state to trample on fundamental human rights and also you are the case here in the country so
yes now let me tackle the public tribunals. I'll come back to PDS, so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, whether the what Ghanaians will say about Assad and all that. When you read that article, I'll try and add the link. Let me save the link. The BM coming yet. Let me see the link and add it to the description bar. Until the better to the history of the court system. Now, Osha, the public tribunals basically came into the scene when President Rawlings came. Now, what it did was that basically they didn't trust the traditional court system. So the public tribunals was started somewhere in 1982, where basically they were a parallel section of the court. So the court system was under the Judicial Council or the judiciary, but the public tribunal, they didn't respond to or they were not under. As someone say, Chad, any GHS, Ghana Health Service. Once the child hospitals, no, they are not directly under the Ghana Health Service. But the chairman of the public tribunals, they had the same equivalence as a high court. But the JJ Rawlings PNDC believed that the normal court, they were slow, they were bureaucratic, any idea. So they brought in the public tribunals to also sit on cases, including criminal and civil cases, but they were not under the judicial service. That was under the military junta. So in practicality, the regular courts were there and the public tribunals, which didn't have the umbrella of the judicial service. But the chairman of the tribunal had the same powers as a high court who served under the normal judiciary, under the judicial service. What you say? So that was the 1982 system. But people were criticizing it and all that. And it was effective. They were dealing with a lot of civil cases and all that. It was quite effective in that system when you read the nomenclature and the article on it. But yeah, the 1982 constitution, what it did was that it adopted the public tribunals and brought it under the judicial service. So even in the 1982 constitution, the public tribunals is there, but now they will not run parallels. I can't say we are parallels. See, so judicial service, public tribunals, and it's the public tribunal board there be. Now the 1982 constitution did this. It brought the public tribunals under the bigger umbrella of the 1992 constitution. So now the public tribunals are under the 1992 constitution. Now what it did was that under the 1992 constitution, let me read for you, it abolished the old tribunals entirely. It's the old tribunals and abolished it. It created regional tribunals whose chairman had similar qualification to a high court. It provided for lower courts and tribunals to be part of the former judiciary. This includes circuit tribunals and community tribunals established under Act 459. And to read the link, you have it read it on Act 459 to get a bit of understanding on the public tribunal, or more expansive understanding of it. Now what that means is that they no longer run parallels. Now all the decisions should be properly reviewed and appealed within the unified judicial system. So under the regional tribunals that the constitution created were also the lower tiers of the tribunals. So we know maybe you so you're happy with a certain system. You can also have appellate processes just as it's established under the judiciary. For example, high court, appeals court, now the Supreme Court, even the Supreme Court, you gotta go for a review. All those appellate processes are also there. But what happened was that over time, Act 464, which changed into the Court Act, which is Act 620 2002, which further refined these lower courts and tribunals. But the key point is that tribunals now operate within the constitutional judiciary structure and not outside it. It's now the tribunals of Crown. It has also been brought back under the bureaucracy. I bet me postponing matters and all that. So as to how effective it will be, only time will tell. It was one of the central things. Dr. Ayeni, what kind of vet, and I was asked a lot of questions on it when it comes to the public tribunals, as to how effective it will be when it comes to ORA. Only time will tell. But the history about the court system, is very, very interesting. It will be critical to look at how the public tribunals will be. But mostly, tribunals, what the lawyers tell me that sometimes we have ordinary people who come on board to also contribute to the ruling of the matters and all that. So it will be interesting to look at how it will be fashioned under this ORA system. As to Bawumia going to ORA, answer questions. Mr. President Akroma, the only thing is that I didn't see the whole bulldozer. I see a continue free fee, nah. I think it's done in a more diplomatic manner. If that is done, I don't have any issue with it. My only issue with those things is mostly how Rambo star giddy approach, and I feel like it drowns the substance of the issue. But I have no issue if Dr. Bawumia is supposed to be asked questions. And Abass is key. He's a functionary of the government. It's in information I will work on it. And you know, I don't know how it will be an issue or someone will have an issue with it. Strangely, I struggle to understand it. But before I will go further, let me give you a background of the PDS scandal. For those who don't know what the PDS scandal is about. Agreement and it was part of what we call the Millennium Challenge Corporation, MCC, where Ghana and Kenya almost $498 million, almost $500 million, that's $500 million, to try to do a lot of reforms in the energy sector. PDS was supposed to achieve 3 things under the MCC. Reduce power losses. May catch us a commercial technical loss about 32%, according to the Energy Commission's report of 2024. It was supposed to reduce those losses. Improve billing and revenue collection. It's also part of reducing the losses. Bring in private sector efficiency and modernize ECG operations. That was basically the 3-4 things supposed to do. But near free BB insurance guarantee. As part of the agreement, PDS was supposed to submit a $12 million guarantee, bank guarantee. Say BBC ahana Ghana didn't see a chiba kubums okay. PDS a din samonibi was see a chiba wa chini Ghana by meeting within Sasum and yen as will be at the afa at the edin juma. Later near who say that insurance guarantee may fake. But answer na yebe hu se na fake na PDS agege bills to about almost 6 months. Ano magege revenue ni ade agege sika ya to prepaid no say sika na komo ni bibia ana ban hu se guarantee ni si achi ba PDS dey ba agreement na ba gi ECG e de adijuma no sa ade ni fake enu twem. So that is the summary of the PDS scandal. And most people were asking, say, revenue no modiji and within that period, some Ghana 4 to 6 months, so our revenue no ewing. And why did we even hand over to them when we didn't do further due diligence on the guarantee no more the buy and ye fake, So that was basically what the PDS scandal is about. So for me, if the vice president, the former vice president, Dr. Bawumia played a certain role, it's not an issue, Papa. Yes, we say no ko yin samano. The only issue as I've said I'm one is how bulldozer and then it drowns the substance of the matter. But if there's grounds, say why ye be ni ebetime busa ni nsembia no be me further information. Sometimes not even about the person who is involved. Maybe he has superior information. Why not? Abass scandal, Papa Kobe, John, and the Papa Bawumia should be Kobia. I see nothing wrong with that. I don't know why that should be a quibble. I don't know why that should be an issue, frankly. And they make they nana me yorano. Also on Friday, President Wami make you see, I don't know why Ghana, yeah, my accountability, BBB. If you crown one of small doom na ba, only the account, some on me ko say, sana public office here. Sana public office here. So far as you served under a certain regime, enjoy perks of office for your office, you must as well as account for your stewardship. I see that amount for a certain way. Sometimes I agree. Security agents, for example, OSP no my issue. When I read it, I didn't even know some of the details until he brought the full report. The courtesy is expanded to, they seem to be expanded to Dr. Mobile because at least he has a bigger image as a former vice president of the republic, whether I like it or not. That's fact. So how the approach should be refined. You invite your money day waba, ya totuna na papa, ha, you further information, document you hear or aha, maybe a son of 8 men 1 year, then your process no. The bonus like that to forcing case. The High Court ruled he wasn't happy with the certain processes. He went to the appeals court. The appeals court acquitted and discharged him by a 2-1 decision. Yes, a 2-1. It was a 3 appeals court, 2-1 decision. He cleared himself. If you're also not happy with the process, he can also go through the appellate processes. As I said in the tribunals, there are appellate processes that you can go through if you are not happy with the way the court have dealt with you. The system also have that appellate process. So I see nothing wrong with whether it's Bawumia or President Kufuor or anybody. I think for president, they have that immunity. I think for 3-4 years or so. If someone knows, they should educate me. I think for some time before they can be taken through a criminal process. So I particularly see nothing wrong because you see, I've always established that when it comes to corruption, I think the general masses of our country is even against it. Obi maybe a one year no, maybe a coin be ebekum. Obi maybe a one year no, maybe a hospital be fidie be say coin ebekum. So when you are talking about corruption, we shouldn't ascribe religion, political affiliation, and try to do things. We must tackle it from the point of view, say, Sa inefficiencies ni nipa na de bi a wanye eni sika bi ajran kwanta no eno na ebekum. And therefore, when you are treating such matters, you must treat it devoid of our feelings, devoid of our politics and ethnic extractions. You must look at it as purely matters of criminality. So there will never be a time I will be a discount a different nipano. But there will also not be a time I will subscribe to extrajudicial means to exert justice. There be taken through the process. That's why I have the rule of law. So I can say you will say to Makabi Nebia, just a generous Makabi and demo bonus, and ya bro. Because Miss Smith regime Ben Momos for my bow. It's become an anarchy. But go through. Is it libel? Is it defamation? You see. Then you go through the process. That is the law. And when you are seeing me, you do not say to and his fans shouldn't see it as you are gagging me. It's the law. I'll prove my innocence at court, or you also win. Then I'll do what is right of me as a journalist. If I also win, you also do what is right of you as the person who sued me. That is the rule of law, and that is the democratic enterprise that we are practicing. So if we are to get there, I don't expect people to mass up at Yoko and do all those things. But the Yoko and whatever investigative agency must have cognizance of the fact that they must do things by the dictate of the law. And that is all. I don't know the difficulty. Maybe when I'm in Tiasamase. I don't know. Maybe I'm in Tiasamase. So when I may not just share your view. But I think that every other person, president, DC, PA, whatever, who is stealing our money, let's go through the processes. Read about Transparency International, your corruption scandals. Charlie, one day, if you should tabulate the last 20 years, scandals, everybody in this involved, you'll be shocked why sometimes they could a grant to be near your man could be your name Akroma, and I'm not happy about it. You have the means here. It's just about say, yes, set examples of people. Let people know that when you hold public office, you must have integrity. You must tell me say, anytime I'm sure public office could fiscal. All my work, I've worked the most. Nobody has ever made any adverse findings against xenophobia and anything. No, it's just that I don't think I have the metal. So if you assess yourself and think you have the metal, yet you are canny be and you say, oh, obey your man phone we, oh, conform ye who cover no wetchery. Oh, ban the phone is saying near the mouth. Oh, corner, yes, say yes, suspect as a cabby in the hole. It's in the phone on one aka, it's in bra. Now you may be as a cover and you could see saying. Why should that be an issue? It shouldn't be an issue. Maybe me na menti asamase. What you are saying maybe a bit medicate me February. And also in the minute in a try, I don't know. My internet is off. MTN is a bit down. So I don't know. I couldn't check it now. But if you know the immunity for the president, because I think the president Mahama Deno, he came 2024 and the OSP, I think would keep 3 years. So somewhere 2020, 2021. I'm not sure. I think it's 3 years. Oh, your lawyer educate me. Dedicate me. I don't have the means to check it now. So educate me on that. I would love to be educated on that. We are. Feel free share of you in the comments section. Maybe the also can be as normal, but so be a boni di atam. We are now was subscribe to my bell now on click so with the video be to my now what me should send them catch from huge and critical analysis and me that so shape show see man because me here Ghana and so here. Bye bye.